The front line of the war between Ukraine and Russia tends to be most people's focus. Crimea, the peninsula that Russia seized in 2014, has been getting less attention, but Ukraine is putting it under a lot of pressure. This is what life has become for those living there: water shortages, fuel rations, and blackouts. That is all part of a Ukrainian strike campaign, attacks like these. The aim: to choke the supply lines running through the peninsula to the southern end of the front line in Kherson and hit Russians both at home and on holiday. Sky News data and forensics team has geolocated 92 of these strikes so far in July to see just how much the Ukrainians are hitting and the impact it's having on the population. These are strikes that have been geolocated by the team from drone strike and aftermath videos posted online. And they've got a target. 82% of these strikes on electricity substations. You can see them here, and these are the power grid lines on which they lie. So what does that all add up to? The effects can be seen in nighttime satellite imagery. This is before the strikes in April. Pay attention here, here, here. And what you're going to see is in July, those lights go out. Now, one major piece of infrastructure that was hit overnight on the 14th of July is the Balaclava thermal power plant outside Sevastopol. According to Russian-appointed governor of that city, it left the town without power. And we can see that the average nighttime light in Crimea, well, look, it is more than half. We've got a small gap in the data there, but you can see there is a big decrease there. Now, why is this so important? Well, Crimea has become an increasingly isolated territory. That's because there has been another target too. This peninsula obviously relies on bridges. These have all been hit too. And the idea is to isolate Crimea even further from the surrounding mainland by destroying those bridges. But the strikes on the substations, the subsequent blackouts, are particularly unique. The high number of substations hit in Crimea in July alone has had a profound impact on civilians. Unusually, Russians are taking to social media to express their discontent. This post on Telegram says that northern Crimea has not had power for 7 days, and there are water shortages in populated areas, and they wanted this post to be shared to spread awareness. The Sky News has spoken to others who needed to remain anonymous. They confirmed widespread power outages and said they were worried about what civilians would do if strikes continued into winter. One source based in Yalta described this attack that occurred overnight on July the 21st. They told Sky News the next day parts of the city were without electricity or running water. So this is a concerted campaign. And let's look at this. This shows all Ukrainian strikes on Crimea since the start of the current all-out war. You can see it's pretty low. It starts to pick up, and then there's that big jump over the last 2 months. Now, when Russia hit Ukrainian energy sites, politicians there accused it of targeting civilians, effectively a war crime. Ukrainian representatives told us the power systems in occupied Crimea are a legitimate military target.
We understand that Russia Federation tried to destroy all of us, but we don't want to destroy people who live in Crimea and civilian people. We need only to destroy military infrastructure.
Ukraine seems to be doing that pretty effectively. Crimea was occupied long before the current war, but its fate may be decided by it too.